Hey, this is Tom from rrcats.com, and I want to answer the question, what is an O2 sensor and what does an O2 sensor do? So I don't want to stand here and claim to be an expert on anything, so I'm going to read this. An O2 sensor is responsible for measuring how much unburned oxygen is in the exhaust. It communicates with your vehicle's electronic control unit, otherwise known as an ECU, to help figure out the right air to fuel ratio, which is best for your engine's performance. So knowing what an O2 sensor is really great, knowing what they look like is really good as well. Now, O2 sensors can be found not only on the catalytic converter, but sometimes you can have O2 sensors on different parts of the engine depending on how the O2 sensors are made for that specific vehicle. Now, some of them look like this, and they have wires on them, and when these wires come out, you can see the ends on them. They connect to the ECU, the electronic control unit that we talked about, which is your car's brain, the computer, and lets you know if there's something going wrong. So what we want to do is show you a couple of different things because these have value because they have platinum inside. So here you see, this is 1 pound of O2 sensors. You can see altogether there are 6 units that make up about a pound. Next, we have another sample. This is a 2-pound bag of O2 sensors. And last but not least, just to kind of show you, this is a 5-pound bag. This way you can see how many O2 sensors make up a 5-pound bag and how you can sell them. Now, these O2 sensors, you can see most of them have the copper wires cut off, and when you sell them, you want to have this piece cut as small as possible so it looks closer to this, because you're never going to get paid for that copper, so cut it off so you can sell it yourself for your regular computer wire scrap or something like that. But when you look at these O2 sensors, it doesn't always come off easily. So there are bits that are made specifically to take O2 sensors off. So sometimes you might have to get an adapter, you put it on. Now we're using a very strong drill because you don't want to do it. Here you go. Now you can see how strong this torque is. But it rips the O2 sensor right out. So here you can see some of the black on this O2 sensor starting to show that the catalytic converter was going bad. Now, if you wanted to sell your catalytic converter to rrcats.com, we're not going to pay you for these O2 sensors unless they're removed. Because we showed you these different bags, one O2 sensor doesn't make up a pound, so we can't give you a per pound price. But if you're doing a lot of catalytic converter recycling, a lot of auto recycling, this is a great way to make extra money because this black on the end here shows that the cat is starting to go bad inside, and it's probably one of the reasons that this cat was used. Now, we bought this online, and we're going to have a link online so you can see where to buy these O2 sensor removing bits. And what you also want to do is have an adapter and have a separate socket. Now, I will tell you this, these get beat up pretty good, and using them on a smaller drill, you're not going to have the torque that it takes to pull this O2 sensor out. You saw that this is a super strong snap-on gun, right? Or snap-on drill, and you can just listen. That's a high torque ratio inside. So a normal DeWalt or Milwaukee drill might not have enough torque to really pull that thing out. So you want to make sure you have a separate one, and you really want to make sure that you buy multiple of these for a couple of reasons. With the link below, you can see where to buy them, but this O2 sensor removing bit, it gets used and worn, and what we found is because it's not something that you use every day, sometimes you put it into the wrong spot. What happens when you put it on the wrong spot? It gets misplaced, and only for a few dollars each, you're going to be able to get a couple of them and have a couple of extra tools, just like a drill bit or anything else. So there's platinum inside of the O2 sensors. That's what we're looking for. So if you have questions on pricing of O2 sensors, you can go to rrcats.com. If you have questions on catalytic converters, you can also go there as well. Hopefully this video taught you a little bit about O2 sensors, what they are and what they do.
We look forward to earning your business at rrcats.com today.